Well, as the weather of the last week or so kicked your allergies into high gear, well, this morning ophthalmologist Dr. Shilpa Rose is joining us to focus on one particular reaction many of us have, and that's itchy eyes. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I can certainly relate to this. Little cousin plays baseball, sitting out in the field, and I have this symptom that so many people suffer from. Tell us, what makes our eyes so susceptible to pollen?
So we use our eyes every day. We're outside, we're in the element, and the beautiful trees, the cherry blossoms, everything that we enjoy about spring, unfortunately, the pollen is high, and we had a very compressed spring, a late spring this year. So the pollen is out there, the molds, the trees, the grass. And so what happens is that pollen causes an allergic reaction and then an inflammation to the eyelids and the eyeballs.
Now last week, we know Wednesday, Melissa was telling us we saw one of the highest tree pollen counts just in a long time. Can pollen cause any other issues other than itchy, watery eyes? Can it cause any other problems?
Sure it can. So that pollen that you see on your cars, you know, that yellow, gritty, greenish dust that's on your cars, that can get into your eyes. So just imagine that stuff is getting into your eyes. And what can happen is it elicits an allergic reaction, so the eyeballs don't like it. Our eyes are meant to protect ourselves from foreign objects. This is a foreign particle that's getting into the eye, so yes, that body is trying to react to this.
What are some things we can do to prevent these effects when we encounter the pollen?
Okay, so there's lots of things we can do as we go outside, enjoy the outdoors, just to prevent it from becoming an issue before it gets out of hand. Simple little things you can do at home. Simple things. If you have a pair of sunglasses, wraparound sunglasses, go outside. If you're going to watch, like for me, it was watching my son's lacrosse game, put these on, prevents the element from getting into the eyes, okay? Artificial teardrops. I actually went to the drugstore this morning to see what was out there. Simple teardrops you can do. Artificial tears keep the eyes lubricated. If you know you're susceptible to allergens and allergic conjunctivitis, put the teardrops in before you go outside. Simple solution. Easy. Put your head back, put a teardrop in, it gets in. Simple things. Another little thing to do, simple washcloth. In the shower, cold water, warm water, underneath the sink, put it on your eyelids, press for a few minutes, opens up the ducts, because the ducts can get clogged and you can get things called chalasia and styes, and inflammation. So very simple little things. Over-the-counter remedies, artificial tears, lots of brands out there, they're all pretty good. Antihistamines, you just have to remember, if you take Allegra, Claritin, any of the antihistamines will dry out your eyes a little bit more. So you just drink lots of water, use the artificial teardrops. A lot of over-the-counter remedies work really well. They're inexpensive. Try those first. And if those don't work, then we can move on to other things.
Okay, and I see you do have a couple other things. Just point one of them out for us. We have about 30 seconds.
So these are allergy prescription medications that you can get from your eye care professional. Sprays, masks that you can heat up. If it does get really bad, you can definitely use prescription anti-inflammatory medications. Omega-3s, this has helped me quite a bit in terms of dealing with the allergic conjunctivitis.
And before we let you go, I think it's just interesting that you bought an
I love this eye
eyeball here.
Yes.
So quickly tell us what happens when the pollen hits our eyes.
So this is the cornea. This is the clear part of your eye that gets resurfaced when you have LASIK, and this is what really protects the eyes and the eyelids up and down. So basically the allergens get in, and what you have to do is you have to blink it out and get a good tear film. That's why those teardrops are so important.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then taking lots of breaks at the computer when you're indoors. That's actually a very important thing to do also.
Certainly excellent advice. I'm going to try a couple of these things myself because I always struggle with allergies every single year.
Everybody does, and it's fortunately self-limited and not contagious for the most part, which is great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rose.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And Dr. Rose, of course, all that's great advice. You guys can check it out. We're going to put some of these tips up online after the show.